Good afternoon, people. It's your boy, Arted Kev.
And Shadiki.
It's my daughter, Shadiki. Say hi to the people.
So,
Eh,
hi.
say hello. Please like and share our video.
Hello, please like and share our video.
Subscribe.
Subscribe.
And leave a comment.
Leave a comment. Leave a comment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So that's my kiddo, my 13 years old. She decides to be on my blog with me today. While we have some parent time, one-on-one, so we can study this some more. Today, we'll be playing
Where do you want to go?
a game on our Nintendo
Where are we
Switch.
gonna put this?
I just decided to do some game with her. I'm not really a game person, but she's been telling me from the other day she wants us to play some games, so I just decided I'll just use this time play some game with her. Thank you all for subscribing so far. Thank you all for liking my channel. Moving forward, I'll be shouting out different people on different days. People who subscribe to my channel, people who block my notification. Thank you for the likes, the comments. I do appreciate it. My family and I really appreciate it, and we'll be giving out other giveaways on different days. Father's Day, like I said, I'll be giving away another $50 Canadian dollars, maybe a few phone cards, depends on how I feel, my mood, and all that. I'll also be going live on Facebook on Father's Day, and I will record the video for my YouTube channel also.
Do you want to choose your own car or what?
Just choose one.
You choose. Do you want the same one as me? That's the one we had last one.
I don't want the same white car.
Then choose.
I want red.
Want that one?
I'm tired and sleepy. But when kiddo says I wanna play, I wanna spend some time with you, then I gotta spend some time.
This is relaxing. You should have an advantage. Either your car is too fast and too bad to handle because it's too fast, or it's too slow but good to handle.
You're not in the camera.
No, I'm just relaxing.
You don't wanna be in the camera while you're hiding.
I'll go up. I'm just letting you get like a head start. Then when I'm ready to go gamer mode, I think I got myself in trouble.
This was her birthday gift in last year. Where's the drive X? This shall be a hot one because I hate driving games.
Oh yeah, your car is slow.
Yeah, I like it slow. You see, it don't talk at me crash already. Am I in front?
You're red, so you're behind.
Watch there. Saw me crashing at the post.
Do you want me to come back here or what?
I'll figure it out.
Okay.
Am I going the wrong way still? So where's the right way?
Just reverse.
Oh,
Then
Jesus.
turn.
That will give me license. Am I still going the wrong way?
Now you're in the right way. So now turn, you have to turn.
Oh, bro. I did not say that
Reverse.
wrong.
Turn. So like, yeah.
It's not
and
turning.
then drive and turn. Drive, press the A. Turn, yeah. Wait.
You said
No,
A.
it's this way. What?
Boo,
No,
you
it's
said
this
A.
way.
Stop turning me in a fool.
This way, yeah, turn. You have to turn around, so like make a 360. Yeah, there we go. Now.
Why does it keep hitting in the... I can't drive, I'm sorry. I can drive real cars, not these toys. I thought you were better than me.
See, I did get you out, didn't I?
Thank you. Let me play yours. You play mine, let me play yours. So that means I'm the white car now. So I'm in front now. Better not
That's
pass
such
me.
an advantage.
The white
You're gonna
advantage.
pass you? Alright.
Box cover, I could be a lead behead. No.
I'm coming for you.
As long as the car not turn back way again.
car too, so you're going.
So go on people, everybody good.
As long as you know what you're going.
So basically, I wanted to talk to you guys about something that hit a nerve today. But I have to finish this game first and then I can talk about it. It has to do with the video I see circulating with macro. But I'm not going to be talking about macro because from a social worker's point of view, I don't really bash people. And I don't speak about people in any negative way. But basically it did hit a nerve because I did a course recently about IPV. And one of the things I learned in the intimate partner related violence or intimate partner violence, it has to do with sex or intimacy. A lot of people don't understand that violence can take place during intimacy, and so a lot of persons fall for it, not understanding that they are being hurt and abused, and the fact that they tend to like and enjoy the pleasure, then they fall for the violence and not understand that they're being violated. So I'll be touching more about that as soon as I'm done this game, because I don't want to have this conversation in front of my kiddos, so I'll be back. Yes guys, so we're going to talk about the story about intimate violence. A lot of persons don't understand that you can be violated intimately even though you consent to it, right? For example, what I saw happen to Mackerel, most likely she was drinking, it's her birthday, she was having a vibes. Apparently the guy pick her up, lift her up to his face and started eating whatever. One of the things I did in the social work training or classes was intimate violence, and I was always the type of person who I'm not very quick to judge people, right? I was raped on 7 occasions. Well, more than 7, but I account for 7. I've been sexually assaulted on numerous occasions, more than 20 times. Something I don't really talk about. But after I watched the video with Mackerel last night, it hit a nerve. The reason why it hit a nerve is that people who have never been abused sexually don't understand the way in which the mind works. Some people, when they are being sexually molested, assaulted, or raped, they either some fight, some apparently get frightened to the point where their body freeze, and some persons they go numb. Right? So some people say they fight, they flight, or they flee. Everybody, each individual respond and react differently to touch. Okay, I remember one of the instances when I was being sexually molested. I was like, I don't like guys, I don't have feelings for guys, so I don't even know why this is happening, why it keeps happening. The last instant when it happened, that's the one I'm gonna talk about, where it was a pastor man who sexually, but he had sex with me without my consent. I went to the washroom at the person's house to use the washroom, and the next thing I know, he barged in the washroom, came in on me while I was there. When you go to take a leak as a female, right, you gotta sit, and then as soon as you're done taking your leak, you'll be looking for the tissue so you can dry. Apparently the person was listening to know when I'm done taking my leak and I'm about to dry. By the time I'm done drying and I'm about to get up off the toilet seat, there this person came right in, pushed me against the wall, and bam bam, he was inside of me doing whatever. I froze. I literally froze. By the moment he walked in the washroom, I knocked out. I can't tell you how much strokes, I can't tell you how long he took, how fast it was, how painful or not. I don't remember anything. My body shut down, right? So when your body shut down, it's as if you're not living the moment. You don't know what is happening. All I know is that when he was done with me and he tried talking to me, all I wanted to do was to leave. I was like, I don't want to talk to you right now, I just want to go home. I drove past my house in the taxi, and the taxi man was like, didn't I pass your stop already? And I'm like, oh shucks, yeah, you did, but I'm going by my friend's house. I wasn't going by no friend's house. I just didn't know how to deal with it. So I came off the taxi and I walked about 3 miles around in circles. I went from one location to the next location. I didn't know where I was going. I just wanted to walk, 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 walk. I went home. I showered about 30 times. I was in the shower for almost 2 hours, trying to wash myself off, wondering what happened. And there and then, I vowed with myself. And I told myself, this is not going to happen again. This is the last time any man is going to take advantage of my body without my consent. And during that moment, when I got home, I showered and everything, I had a talk with myself. I tried to figure out where did I went wrong. How did I cause this on myself? I had a self-talk with myself, and I'm like, why is it that I keep going through these tortures? What am I doing wrong? I was always masculine. I was always with the boys. On more than one occasion, I was assaulted. So even if I should go back to when it just began, prior to the last one, because this is what kind of, I need to just say it and get it over and done with. From I was 6 years of age, maybe younger, I was sexually molested and assaulted by a close family member. I will not call any names. I will not say which side of the family, but I was sexually molested and assaulted numerous times. At the age of 13, that person tried penetration. He somewhat succeeded to some extent, but he was a mature person, very elderly person, maybe in his 70s or 80s at the time. I'm not going to be any more specific. I won't say if it's 70 or 80, that's much as I was saying. The reason why I'm not calling names, the reason why I'm not being specific is because those incident or that incident, they happened years ago. I'm 39 now. Me coming forward and calling names is not going to help anything, because I already got my counseling and I already forgive the person. Even though the person is no longer alive, I forgive the person. A lot of time abusers are going through things and they take it out on other people. It is not right, it is not correct, but at the same time, I'm not going to bash the person, I'm not going to judge the person. What he did was wrong, and I am trying to break the cycle and make sure I don't become like him. I make sure educating my child and my children that these things, they should not sit with it and let the persons get away. So that is one of the reasons why I become an advocate. I'm helping people to be a voice for themselves, and for those who cannot speak, I will be a voice for the voiceless and help to bring hope to the hopeless. After he tried at the age of 13, never worked. He told me if I told my parents, then I can never come back to his house, and he's gonna tell lies on me and make my parents believe that I did all kind of things. Knowing us as kids, your parents will not take your word over an adult, especially when the person is a part of the religious icon. Them have them as some role model in society, in the community. So those incidents happen at the age of 16. Before I even get to 16, I stopped going by that person's house, went to visit another family member. 2 of my cousins held me down and they had sex with me. I was 13 going 14. They turned the music up loud, 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 loud. No adult was home, it was just us kids. Me and 2 of my cousins' boys. They turned the music up loud so nobody would hear what was happening. That happened, and I felt like, what is my life all about? I'm running away from one rape house, went to another house, and then I get raped again. That doesn't make any sense. So I was struggling with that for a while. I became very withdrawn, stopped socializing, stopped doing the things I used to do. I used to be out to the boys, playing with the boys, all the things that guys do as a young girl growing up. I was never girly. I was always doing things with boys. When my sisters were busy learning how to comb hair, I was never interested in any of that. Tell me about playing marble and go hunting for birds and bush and gun war, driving the carts and those skates and whatever, climbing trees, going to look after the cows, the goats. Those are the things I like. Even when they want me to go to church, I would hide away when it's time for church. And when they look for me, I'm nowhere there. And when they go to church and return, that's when I'm coming back home, because I'm always gone early because I don't want to go to church. At the age of 16, I was in high school. I was living from one department of the high school to the next. I was assaulted by three of my classmates. Three of my classmates held me down in the corridor and they sexually assaulted me, fondled me. My button was burst, like they ripped my clothes apart, so my buttons went flying. I was there crying. A teacher came and she was shouting at them and she was like, guys, you need to stop. One of the guys said to the teacher, you need to shut up, because if you continue talking, you might have a giant heart. The teacher went away and did nothing. As a teacher, I would expect you to call the guidance counselor or somebody, or call some male teachers to come to my rescue. She walked away. I forgave her because I don't know what she was going through, why she walked away and did nothing. When I was done, I went to the guidance counselor and I told the guidance counselor what happened. She called the guys and she said she's gonna suspend them. And they begged me, because they're like, if I let them get suspended, then their parents would be mad at them, and they apologized and they told me they're sorry and it will never happen again. It's just that they never believed me that I was a virgin. And then one of them told me it was my best friend who told them they should try it with me because she didn't believe I was a virgin. Yeah, so-called hypocrite friends. I was like 16. Anyways, the guidance counsel asked me if I wanted to press charges. I told her no. They will have their day in court and it won't be me. They'll try it with somebody else and then somebody else might mess them up. At that time, I had a family member, a very close family member, who was in jail for rape. And I knew how it tore my heart apart seeing him go to jail. So I did not want to have another family feel the way I felt, because my family member who went to jail told me that he was innocent, but yet he was found guilty by the court and was sentenced to jail for rape. Me having that to live with, I don't want to have to go to court to testify about these guys, because it might not go far, because sex never really happened. It was mere like assault, fondling and fingering basically. So I'm like, I don't want to go through that. Next stage of my life, at the age of 17, I was living with one of my siblings in a different part of the country, and I was assaulted by a close family member again. Won't say any names. People might wonder why I'm not saying names. I'm not here to put people out. I'm not here to loud people up. I'm just here to speak my truth. And in me speaking my truth, it doesn't mean I'm looking for justice. All I need is support, basically. If I wanted justice, I would have reported it to the police. I'm way past that stage. I forgive people. You know why? Because I want my own healing. In order to heal, you have to forgive and move on. If you don't forgive, you cannot move on. The fact that I am now a motivational speaker, I don't even feel hurting when I talk about these things, because I'm over it, to be honest. When that happened, that person was supposed to pick me up and take me somewhere, sexually assaulted me. Well, he actually penetrated me, so that was more like rape. We were in the car. Next thing I know, he was like, you know what's gonna happen now? I'm like, no. He was like, well, you need to take off your clothes and lie down. I'm like, says who? And he's like, what do you mean by says who? Then he took out his gun and he pointed his gun at me and he said, says this man. Says, when I says who, he pointed at me and he says this man. He kissed his gun and he was like, take off your clothes. What am I gonna do? A gun is in front of me, pointing in my direction. What am I gonna do? So I did as I was told. I took off my clothes. I can't remember anything that happened. I don't know if it lasted an hour or half an hour, because my brain froze. My brain shut down. That was maybe one of my ways of coping. My coping mechanism, I guess, is just to shut down. So I shut down. He left me same place. He didn't even take me home. When he was done, he said, get out of the car. I'm like, what that's supposed to mean? Like, what do you mean by get out of the car? I'm done. And don't even tell anybody about this, because if you tell anybody about this, then, gunshot or go talk. So that was a lot of the cases. When I was 17 going 18, I decided I want nothing to do with men. So started dating this girl full time. I was with women before, but it was in the down low. But then I started dating this girl full time, and she was giving me too much of a hard time because apparently she wanted to control my life, and I was not about that. So it never really last. Then move on to when I was 19. Met this Christian guy. Saw him say he used to work with one of those Brinks trucks. I was telling him about my incidents with men, that I don't find myself liking men anymore, and I never really liked them to begin with, but I was just trying to tolerate them. But for some reason they keep hurting me, so I'm kind of done with them. This guy told me, let's go for to the movies and just chill, we can talk. We went to the movies. For some reason, when we got there, the movie started. He said it never make any sense to pay for a movie that was like almost half an hour ahead of time. Like it started and half an hour in, so it would be a waste of time to just pay for a movie when you're missing half an hour. So we went back to the parking lot, got ice cream. We were sitting in the car talking. Next thing I know, this guy wants to have sex, and I'm like in the parking lot. It was like, well, what do you expect? We're gonna go rent a hotel for just an hour? I don't even know if I'm gonna last an hour. I'm like, but I'm not into men. I told you this. He says the spirit tells him. No, but I'm not laugh. He said the spirit tell him that there's only like he should test me to see if my feelings for men are really done. If I'm really not into men anymore. If I'm like done. So I'm like, and how are you gonna test that? So he started kissing me up or whatever. So I wasn't responding. Then he's like, I keep fighting away, like pushing him, like, yo, I'm not about this. Like, can you just stop? Can you just stop? He started touching on my nipples, and then he's gonna tell me my nipples are responding. What people don't understand, because I'm not attracted to men, doesn't mean if a man touch my nipple, they won't stand. They will stand because it's been touched. I don't have to be attracted to you. I don't have to have feelings for you for my nipples to stand, because the body responds to touch. It's just like if something is hot, you put your finger in it, it will burn you because it's hot. Because I'm not interested in hot things doesn't mean if I put my finger in the boiling water, it won't burn. It's that simple. So yeah, he's touching me up and I'm not interested. He's like, oh well, your nipples are responding. The next thing I know, this guy is on top of me, ready to hit it off. In less than 10 minutes, he was done. He asked me how was it. I said, how was what? He's like, you're acting like you didn't enjoy it. I said, did I move? Did I mourn? Did I say anything? He's like, what do you mean, did I? Weren't you there? I'm like, obviously. If I was there, I wouldn't be asking if I did all these things. So when I saw what was happening in the video with Mackerel, and she came back and she made another video and she's saying something like it's the best night of her life or whatever, people respond to things differently. I could have been enjoying it, I don't know. I could have been telling him I like it and do it this way and do it that way, I don't know. Because I cannot tell you what happened in any of those cases. Because if you're living a certain life, after time it becomes the norm. This is like, first my grandfather, then, oh my god, I just said that. Then two of my cousins, that's like 3 persons already having sex with me without my consent. Then those 3 guys on the school compound who sexually molested me. That's like so many different dicks going in, like men touching me, dicks going inside of me, like it was never what I wanted. Then this man at the age of 19, my body just start responding like shut down. To me sometimes it seems like the norm. Then I had 2 cousins now, older cousins, who were always wanting to be up and down with me, wanting to take me places, doing stuff with me, blah blah blah. Next thing I know, of course, one of them wanted sexual benefits too. He had his way with me. It's like, I don't even talk about these things because a lot of people are going to be pissed when I speak about it. And a lot of people are going to be asking a lot of questions. So I just choose not to talk about it. My grandfather's dead hard. was happening, and my two cousins asked me to go somewhere with them, and I went with them, and then one of them went back to the dead yard, and the other one took me away, devoured me. Of course, he had sex with me against my will, but according to him, I led him on. I made him think that this was what I wanted, and he thought we were both on the same page. So I don't know, maybe somewhere along the line I was giving them mixed signal, I don't know. I was 16, I was what, almost 17. I don't remember all these things on the top of my head because I didn't write them down. I have not talked about these things in a while. I don't think about them. I don't have dates and years put down. So as I'm doing this video, I'm just trying to dig my memory as I go along. So forgive me if I don't sound straightforward. At the same time, I'm trying to save people's reputation, because I know if my family sees this video, they're gonna be mad at me, because a lot of them don't want to admit that there's incest in the family. One of my sisters told me I should stop putting my business on social media, because every time social media hear of my story, the family's been judged. That's the thing that hurts me the most. It's not even the rapes that I've been through that hurts me the most. Is the fact that my family tend to turn a blind eye to how much I was hurting or how much I've been through. One of my pastor brother asked me when I told him about my rapes. I know I haven't finished telling you all the rapes. Maybe I will not get into all of it, but I'm just free flowing as my mind leads me. Whatever my mind tells me to talk about, that's what I'm gonna talk about. Recently, when I came out as a trans, and I told my family I'll be changing my name and my gender, I'll be doing some surgeries too. One of my brother, who's a pastor, asked me how can he help me. Like, he felt like he failed me as an older brother. He should have been there to protect me from all these monsters, and he's wondering how he can help me as a minister of religion. I thought about it, and I said to him, my lighting is kind of poor, so my eyes look red. So I said to him, if you want to help me, this is how I want you to help me. Bring a message to the church. When you go to your crusades and your conventions and your big meetings and you get an opportunity to preach about these things in church. Pastors who are molesting the young girls, the choir leaders, the youths, the females youths, the male youths, because it's not just females who are being used and abused sexually by pastors or persons in high places. There are pastors who are having sex with the little boys. There are pastors who are having sex with the little girls. There are pastors who are married and they are a part of the LGBTQ, but they don't want to come out loud, which is okay. I understand you don't want to come out, but if you have to stay in the closet, find an adult. When you're gonna take a teenager and somebody who's not even at the age of consent, you're damaging that person's future. You're hurting that person mentally. It takes a strong person to come back from a sexual abuse. It takes a strong person to forgive you and move on. So I told him, preach about these things in church. Talk to the pastors when you go to your meetings and your conference. Tell them to look within themselves and make sure the life they're living is exemplary. Make sure they're not abusing the young girls and the young boys, even if they're off the age. Having sex with someone without their consent is wrong. There is no right to it. Don't tell me you were drunk. Don't tell me you were smoking, you were intoxicated. Don't tell me you were stressed out and depressed. Having sex with someone against their will, it's wrong. Even if you're in a relationship with the person, you want to have sex and the person don't want to, you should find another way to ease your ego. Even though the Bible says wives should submit themselves to their husbands, sorry, but if the woman is not in the mood, do not rape her. If the man is not in the mood, do not rape him. It should be consent. I also told him that if he wants to help me, he should try to help some of those persons who are hurting right now. Preach about these things, and when you preach, tell the persons, if you feel like you're a victim of intimate violence by pastors or anybody, it could be your husband, be a space where people can come and talk to you, and you can pray for them and pray with them so they can get the help they need. A lot of people are hurting and they're afraid to talk about it because they don't want to be judged. Moving forward, so those ones, my cousins. So first, that elderly person who did it when I was 13, two of my cousins when I was 13, the boys at school, then my cousins at my grandfather's dead yard, then the person at the age of 19, also the one at gunpoint. That's about 6. That was 6 times. I lose track, but anyways, whatever. If you can count them, at 13, that was penetration. Yes, at 13 again by my 2 cousins, also penetration. The ones at 16 were not penetration, but the one at 17 at gunpoint was penetration. The one at 19 was also penetration. So that's 13, 13, 16, 16 to 17 with the gunpoint. That's 4. And then the one when I was 19 in the parking lot, that's 5. Then there goes the evangelist. Why? There goes the evangelist. I was somewhere between 19, 20, 21. I'm not gonna be specific, because if I be specific, then people might know who the person is. So I'm not being specific with a lot of the dates and ages, but they're not far from reality. Okay? Went by this person's house. I'm not gonna give details too much. Went by this person's house. By the time I got to the door, he already had on his condom waiting for me. By the time I knocked the door, he opened the door, grabbed me in, bam bam. That was it. When he was done, he said to me, "You felt real good." And I said to him, at least you have something to say. And he's like, "So you don't have anything to say?" I said, "What should I say rather than, you took me by surprise. I didn't see you as one of them." And he said, "What do you mean?" I said, "I didn't see you as one of those persons who use people and hurt people. And this is why I cannot see myself ever being in love with a man, because all you all do is use women and take their body as a piece of material or property. You just grab it, you do what you want to do with it, and then you toss it aside." And he said to me, come here. I'm like, "I have nothing to say." I walk out of the house in tears, and I walked all the way home. I didn't even take a taxi. I walked all the way home. I remember a couple of years after that, I was talking to a pastor man about the incident, because the rumors started going around that I'm a lesbian, and people started talking and speculating and saying stuff and blah blah blah. At this point in time, I stopped caring, because to me, I never felt like a lesbian. All I felt was like a man trapped inside of a woman's body, and I was living my life like a normal heterosexual person would. So after I spoke to the pastor about it, I told him I'm done with men, because he's telling me, "I hear rumors going around that you're with women and blah blah blah." I'm like, "Yeah, so?" Start telling me the Bible says it's wrong and this and that and blah blah blah, long story, and I'm not gonna go to heaven if I keep living this life because it's a sin and blah blah blah. Then he told me he's gonna pray for me and I should come by his house so we could talk some more about this and blah blah blah, yada yada yada. Next thing I know, went to his house, we talk. I don't remember if he prayed. I don't remember, to be honest. I don't think he prayed, but we talk. He asks about why am I feeling this way, why am I not feeling for men, and the Bible said this, and man to woman and woman to woman is wrong, and blah blah blah. Anyways, after about an hour of counseling, maybe almost a little over an hour of counseling, I'm like, I'm gonna head back home, so I need to use the washroom. I don't want to travel all the way back home. and not use the washroom. By the time I went to the washroom, like I told you about that story at the beginning of my video, went to use the washroom. By the time I was done taking the leak balm, he came in, did what he had to do. I purposed in my heart that was it. That was it. There and then, that was it. 7 times that I speak about. There are other times that I will not mention right now because it's just too much. And the reason for this video is because somebody somewhere, I hope I can encourage somebody. Your situation should not determine your final destination. Your situation should not determine your final destination. Let me explain what I mean by that. I found shelter in my own shadow. When all these things were happening to me, I froze. For the most part, it was my coping mechanism. I could not deal with the reality of what was happening. And that is why I found ways to distract myself to not have to live with it. Years later, I had to go to counseling. I cried my heart out because that was when everything came tumbling down on me. And I'm like, if I'm going to help people in the future and become a social worker, then I need to get rid of the skeletons in my closet. I need to first learn how to get rid of what is hurting me so that way I can help people when they are hurting. I also purpose in myself never to hurt anybody because I know what it feels like to be hurt or to be hurting. Many times abusers or persons who have experienced first-hand abuse turns out to be an abuser in the future, in the next life. When I say next life, I mean after they get over what they've been through. Some of them turn around and become abusive. Some of them also did not get over what they went through, so they are taking out their frustration on other persons. So another way to put it, the victims of previous cases turn around and victimize other persons. I promise myself and my God to never be one of the persons who victimize others. I hope somebody's heart is blessed. I hope somebody who is struggling somewhere with something, whether it's depression, whether it's struggling from your past, whether it's the fact that your family don't accept you for who you are, be encouraged, be motivated. You are who you are. God made you this way. If you feel like a trans and you were born in the wrong body, do what you have to be. Do what you have to do to be at peace with yourself. Live your truth, whatever that means to you. If living your truth means staying in Jamaica and living in the closet and pretending that you're straight when you're not, live your truth.